Welcome to the Talent Report Plus Thrive podcast, where we dive deep into the ever-evolving topic of talent with insights from MRA members. I'm your host, Jim Morgan, Vice President of Workforce Strategies at MRA, and I'm thrilled to guide you through these conversations with our MRA members who are industry experts, thought leaders, and passionate professionals at the forefront of talent development. Good afternoon and welcome to the June edition of the Talent Report. I'm Jim Morgan and my pleasure to be hosting you again this month. We've got some really interesting things to talk about again, as we always do. And we'll be joined a little bit later by Laura Cullen of JP Cullen Construction out of Janesville, Wisconsin, to talk a little bit more about some of the training and the things that they're doing in career development that I think you will find of interest.
Thank you, Jim, for your kind words. I definitely am just a little bit competitive growing up playing sports. So now I am our Director of Talent at JP Cullen. So as Jim said, I'm really responsible for executing our mission statement, which is to identify, hire, train, and retain the best people to serve our customers. Going a little further, I'm responsible for filling our hiring needs across the company and then providing training programs that support the growth and development of all of our team members. And then I assist in making sure that our retention rate is best in class. I've got a great team around me, including our training and development team, as well as just all of our managers and team members. I do truly believe we have the best people at JP Cullen, which makes our company and our culture really special and a great place to work and be a part of. I'm sure we can all think of a job or two where we didn't have the best onboarding experience. So we on the training and development team and as managers and leaders at Cullen, we're always thinking of what does that first day, that first week, what does that say to our new team member? And how do we make sure that we welcome them and set them up to be successful and give them that feeling where they know they made the right decision by coming to JP Cullen. So our process has evolved a lot. I was thinking back to when I started 8 years ago. I had a very long list of people that I was supposed to go meet with one-on-one and learn what they do. There were probably about 5 to 10 of us that started in 2016. And now think of today where we're hiring 40 to 60 people within the year. We just can't ask our managers to meet one-on-one with all those people throughout the year. That would be redundant and a lot of time on their part. But as we've evolved our new employee orientation and onboarding, we really wanted to make sure we didn't lose that intimacy and that individual focus. So we decided we'd have an onboarding schedule and a new employee orientation. So again, they get connected to their individual manager, their project, as well as the greater companies. Our onboarding process is now more individual specific. What is that individual going to be doing on their construction project or in their department, the team that they're on? And it's a collaboration between the hiring manager or the direct manager and then the training and development team. So our training and development team, we really cover the basic HR and corporate items, how to fill out an expense report, where information is regarding our health insurance and benefits, our referral policy, training resources, our training library, training videos, key dates that they should watch out for. Our team is responsible for taking that off of the manager's plate, which allows the manager to then focus on developing that more specific individual onboarding plan. And to do this, we've developed what we call our new hire roadmap, which is essentially a planning guide for our managers. It's a tool that helps them get ready for their new hire, make sure that they've taken time to really think about what is their new team member going to be responsible for and what are the trainings that they are going to need to be successful in completing those responsibilities. And it covers the project and an overview, who's on the team, who will they be interacting with, who are the project stakeholders, where is their workstation going to be, what meetings are they going to attend, because we do I'm sure like a lot of you on the call, you sit in on a lot of meetings. What is their role in those meetings, the purpose of the meetings, make sure they get those invitations to attend the meetings. These are all things that we've learned we want to make sure are included in the onboarding process. To keep this onboarding process really individual focused is making sure that the manager is checking in with the new hire after every day during that first week. How was your day? What questions do you have? Are you feeling comfortable? How can I help you? And through that process, they really start to form a more personal relationship with each other as well. Now, that was more, those check-in calls are intended for the first week. They can keep doing that if they feel it's necessary. But after that, we encourage them to do it once a week for their first month. And then it turns into a monthly meeting where the manager and the new hire get together and they have a standing agenda of how are things going, giving each other feedback, reviewing their learning plan, discussing what training opportunities are coming up that they should partake in. And then lastly, I just want to touch on is our training and development team. We do what we call our 45-day and 9-month onboarding check-in calls with all of our new team members. And this was something that's come out of our strategic planning, strategic initiatives around retention. So we've been doing this for about 2 years now. And it's either myself or our training and development specialist. We have a one-on-one meeting with the new hire, and we send them a form to fill out in advance of the meeting and ask them to think about their onboarding experience. What went well? What should be changed? What trainings they need? Are they getting enough feedback from their manager? Do they understand how they're being evaluated and what they're responsible for? And these calls have really given our team, the training and development team, ideas on what we could do better or improve for our onboarding. And one example, most recent example, was just even last week, we held our first ever engineer boot camp training. So for 4 days last week, Tuesday through Friday, we had 13 of our new site engineers who had started within the last few months. They all gathered out at Epic in Verona, where we have a lot of construction going on, and in our safety trailer. And they went through a pretty robust, intense 4-day training where they received some presentations, some high-level overviews of the responsibilities that they've had. And then they received opportunities to get hands-on training and practice, do some exercises with each other. They went on job site walks and made observations. And we just recently got the survey results back on what they thought of it. And they ranked it 4.75 out of 5 stars. So we were really, really excited about this engineer boot camp, and we'll look to continue to do that.
And Laura, with your onboarding and your new employee orientation, is there technology that you use in that? Do you have a learning management system or something else that just sort of facilitates it?
It's all done in person. All the onboarding and new employee orientation, we meet in person. We are in the process of building a new LMS, so stay tuned for that, I guess. In addition to the onboarding, which again is more individual specific, we also have our new employee orientation. And this, so combine the onboarding and new employee orientation. The new employee orientation, I would say, is more higher level of who JP Cullen is, who we are, our history, our mission, our vision, our values and beliefs. We get our new employees together so that they have an opportunity to meet each other, see the different job sites that are beyond the one that they're assigned to, and then see our 3 offices and meet the different department and leaders within the company so that they can start putting faces to names. And our goal behind new employee orientation is just make sure that our new team members really start to understand the bigger picture and vision for JP Cullen. We want them to understand how they fit in, how they contribute to the success of the company. And through this process, they start to form a deeper connection with JP Cullen beyond their project and their project team. And we survey our new team members after going through these 3 days. And what did they enjoy? What did they learn? A lot of times we hear they liked getting to meet each other, see the different offices, in different job sites. But most importantly, at least in my opinion, they started to understand how all the different departments work together to support our construction projects and operations. They start understanding why accounting needs the invoice a certain day or a certain way, and how the IT department can support them, how they can help us with marketing and selling the next project. They start to see all the pieces of the business operations coming together. They're busy days, but definitely something our new hires and our leaders see a lot of value in. So I wanted to take a minute to talk about our young leaders. This is a really important group to us at JP Cullen. We've got many employee resource groups, but the Young Leaders Group has been along the longest. It was probably established about 20 years ago. They are the largest group and the most diverse in terms of what positions all participate in this group. So to just express like how important it is when new hires are asked what they like about JP Cullen and what means the most to them, this group is one of their common answers as to why they really enjoy working at JP Cullen, the opportunities to meet their peers and form those relationships. So I wanted to share about them because it's important to us, and I think it sets us apart from other companies and contributes to our success in terms of recruiting and hiring, and then retaining and giving people those growth opportunities. So what exactly is our Young Leaders Group? Like I mentioned, there's about 85 team members in the group now, and we started it about 20 years ago. But about 20 years ago, there was 8 members in it. Most of them are still here today and have developed their careers at JP Cullen, and several of them are on our executive team. But the Young Leaders mission is to build professional and personal relationships, both inside and outside the workplace. They will be involved with strengthening the communities in which we all live and work, and they add value to everyone as well as the company by providing training and mentoring opportunities to instill JP Cullen's culture. I just wanted to touch on their quarterly meetings, which they actually have a quarterly meeting tomorrow, where it's a full day meeting. And the typical agenda includes a company update from one of our co-presidents, who my brother or sister, and they will stay the entire meeting to participate and be right alongside them as they go throughout the meeting. We always put a spotlight on an executive member or department leader, have lessons learned, provide training, whether it's an internal or external speaker, and on a Cullen process or maybe a leadership skill or even a life skill. We'll bring in bankers or anybody externally that might help provide. The young leaders put together their agenda on topics that are important to them. They also give committee updates, and then after every meeting, there is a social or some sort of team building activity that they always really enjoy. So a good opportunity to get to know your peers, both in the work environment and outside of work as well. And then another thing to just touch on, like why this group is so important to Cullen, is they really are the future of JP Cullen. We have the Young Leaders President participate in our strategic planning process, and they are able to directly discuss, where do they see the company going and what resources do they need to continue to support the growth of the company. So their voice is very important. And just to close on the young leaders, I think by being involved in this group, members are not only learning and developing their careers, but they're building relationships at work, which turn into friendships outside of work and leads to excellent retention and people being engaged and wanting to grow their careers at JP Cullen. We kind of set the framework with our onboarding, new employee orientation, young leaders to get people very engaged and feeling a part of JP Cullen. So now that we have them feeling comfortable, now we kind of shift into, okay, how do we continue to provide them the training and learning opportunities they need to keep growing and developing their careers at JP Cullen? So we established what we call our learning plans back in 2017 so that our team members have guides on what trainings they should participate in to keep growing and developing their careers at JP Cullen and in the construction industry. The learning plans include what we call Cullen College classes that are taught internally by our experts on different systems, processes, procedures, as well as on the job trainings and external training opportunities. And we've really built momentum around this by having executives each teach a class, shows the importance of these Cullen College programs. The learning plans, I always meet with our new hires and explain what is the learning plan. And I always tell them, this is your guide, this is your tool that you can review with your manager at whatever frequency you want to just make sure that you're continuing to get exposed to different areas of the business. You're getting different responsibilities so that you are prepared to take that next step in your career development, whichever path you decide to go down. But it is their tool to use and to review with their manager. And I always also tell them, just because if you do work through everything on the learning plan, doesn't mean that you're going to earn that promotion automatically. We still have to evaluate how you're performing and what experiences that you've had. But the learning plans have been really helpful in giving team members more guidance along how they develop their career here at JP Cullen. The learning plans to me are more title or job description related, whereas the individual development plan, it's in its name, is more individually specific to an individual. And similar to the learning plan, we encourage our team members that they own their own growth and creation of their individual development plan. The training and development team, we are there as a resource. We can help them get started. We can provide them a template or a framework on how to craft their IDP. And typically for us, the framework we would like to see is have it include the individual's strengths, areas to improve, where they want to be in 5 years. And it also includes what do they need to accomplish and experience to get to that desired role. And we want the IDPs to be actionable and measurable and have due dates. So we can help them get that started and encourage them to do that. But not every employee at Cullen will have that IDP because some people are happy in the role that they're in. So we don't want to force that upon anybody, but can be there to help them if they want that. And we tie the manager in by telling the manager, if your employee wants to do this, we would expect for you to be a resource and provide them the guidance and the information they need to put together a realistic IDP, something that's accurate, make sure that the manager agrees to the strengths, the areas they need to improve, and where they see themselves going the next 5 years. So they provide feedback. The manager will help then keep track of learning opportunities, training needs, as well as what projects do they need to be exposed to, what responsibilities should they be working on so that they keep growing towards that desired next position. And we encourage, I think like all of us, if you put a plan together, if you don't review it, you lose track of it. So part of the T&D team is just advising them, pin this up on your bulletin board or pull it out once a month, make sure that you're checking it, make sure that you're reviewing it with your manager. That's what's, I think, going to drive the most success and make sure that you continue to accomplish the things on your IDP. Make sure you discuss it with your manager and even hold your manager accountable to helping you with these opportunities and make sure that they provide you the training and growth opportunities and get you exposed to the different areas that you agreed to would help you accomplish your next goal at JP Cullen.
Well, that was a fantastic presentation as well as the lightning round as well. Lots of requests for your roadmap and your planning guide and some other things. So I will follow up with you. There's a couple more questions that we didn't get to. So I'm not sure everything that you want to share. I won't put you on the spot, but if we've got some resources, we'll be happy to,
I
to
could
share
definitely
those.
share some of those requested documents, Jim.
That would be that.
Yeah.
That
Thank
would be
you
great.
again for having me, and appreciate getting to tell our story.
Well, I loved having you. Thank you very much. Coming up for everyone, we'll be talking about HR's role in corporate strategy with Amy Jones of Didion in July. We have a number of people at MRA that are going to the HR or the SHRM conference in Chicago, the national one. So we're going to interview some people while we're down there. And then John Camosa, who's in charge of total rewards for Generac, will be with us in September. And we'll talk a little bit about that prior to our Comp Trends event that's going to be coming up. Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Talent Report Plus Thrive podcast. Stay connected for more exclusive insights directly from our MRA members. Check out the show notes for valuable resources on today's topics. If you have questions or want to learn more about MRA, find my contact information in the show notes or check out www.mranet.org.